Kangxi fooling record, illiteracy counterattack. Chapter 1 Modern visitors mistakenly entered the Qing dynasty. Zhou Qingdong, a modern TV series fan, knows nothing about history, but he traveled to the Kangxi period due to an accident. When he first arrived, he didn't know how to read and write at all, and he could only use the stunt of flickering to mingle in the crowd. When he saw Emperor Kangxi for the first time, he thought, be an official. It's too dangerous. But I have to find a position where I can call the wind and rain without taking risks. He had an idea and decided to become an advisor to the emperor, and this mysterious identity of can intervene in anything, but is not responsible allowed him to escape a lot of officialdom storms. Chapter 2 Fooling the Way Surviving Indiana Troubled Times. The Kangxi court fought fiercely, and the courtiers fought for power, and Zhou Qingdong relied on his modern tricks and a little shallow common sense to successfully sneak into the palace. He used the concept of knowledge explosion to deceive the astonished eunuchs and ministers, and even claimed to know foreign high technology. In a speech, he boasted that he could make a fire-breathing dragon, artillery, which made Kangxi's eyes shine and he began to reuse him. However, Zhou Qingdong's flickering is not all a lie, and he really wants to use his ability to make this era better. Chapter 3 Bizarre, Technological Adventure. With his identity stabilized, Zhou Qingdong began to try to transform his life with simple modern knowledge. He invented a new use of gunpowder and explosives, using bamboo tubes to make improvised rocket models, which made the children in the palace scream again and again. What's even more amazing is that he began to teach soldiers simple military tactics, and even organized a musket squad, which greatly improved the combat effectiveness of the Qing army. However, these bizarre innovations also aroused the jealousy of the conservative ministers, who began to plot how to drive the strange advisor out of the palace. Chapter 4 The Undercurrent of Officialdom and the Trap of Consultants. Zhou Qingdong, who was flickering around, was involved in a palace conspiracy. The conservative minister set a trap to accuse him of treason in an attempt to scapegoat him. Just when he was in danger, Emperor Kangxi accidentally discovered the truth of the matter and trusted the advisor even more. This twist in turn not only tested Zhou Qingdong's wisdom, but also made him understand that the intrigues in the palace were more dangerous than ever. Chapter 5 Love is involved in troubled times, and the heart is struggling. Zhou Qingdong unexpectedly became acquainted with the palace woman Yu Xian, and this gentle and witty woman became his strongest backing. But Yu Xuan's life experience is a mystery, involving another hidden force in the court. Zhou Qingdong oscillated between flickering and feelings, wanting to protect Yu Xuan as well as protecting himself. This relationship is both sweet and full of crisis, adding a touch of tenderness and tension to the story. Chapter 6 The Rivers and Lakes The Choice of Consultants. In addition to the court turmoil, Zhou Qingdong found that there were also undercurrents surging in the rivers and lakes outside. He accidentally got involved in a gang fight and became a strange man with his ostentatious flickering skills. In the thrilling adventures again and again, he gradually realized that his responsibilities were far beyond his imagination. He not only wanted to be the best consultant in the Kangxi era, but also wanted to protect his beloved people and the country. Chapter 7 Earth-Shaking, Kangxi's Mysterious Advisor. Zhou Qingdong finally set up a special advisor's office in the palace, becoming an omnipotent mysterious institution. Here all kinds of wizards, inventors, strategists, and warriors gathered to give advice to the emperor. His status made countless officials jealous, but he also used humor and wisdom to resolve everything. Because of this advisory house, the Kangxi dynasty gradually moved towards new prosperity. Chapter 8 Waking Up from a Big Dream, Fooling the Truth of Life. During a court feast, Zhou Qingdong suddenly woke up. Deception is not only a trick, but also an art of survival, a combination of wisdom and courage. He decided to let go of the little 99 in his heart and win the respect of the emperor and the people with sincerity. He led the advisory office to complete a number of reforms, improve people's livelihood, and strengthen national defense. Eventually, he became an indelible legend of the Kangxi era. Chapter 9 The Legend of the Fool. Zhou Qingdong went from an illiterate man to a consultant of the times, and his story has become a model for countless people to pursue their dreams. He used deception to pry history and used wisdom to change destiny. Thanks to his efforts, the Kangxi era prospered and became a golden age in history. Zhou Qingdong finally understood, life is not about your background, but about the courage to try and make continuous breakthroughs. Chapter 10 Dragon Boat Turmoil, Shocking Secrets. A royal dragon boat race during the Kangxi period was intended to appease the people and show a peaceful and prosperous era. Zhou Qingdong was just joining in the fun, but during the game, he accidentally rescued an old man who fell into the water. This person turned out to be Yu Beimi, the imperial physician of the previous dynasty who had been missing for 20 years. He murmured, "The last will of the great ancestor has not been fulfilled. Those who have not revealed the secret of heaven will die." And then died. A secret letter found in the old man's clothes led to a major secret left behind in the early Qing dynasty, the legendary hidden dragon strategy. The advisor's office was once again embroiled in a shocking conspiracy. Chapter 11 The Mystery of the Hidden Dragon, Mirror Flowers, and Water Moon. Through Yuexuan cracking the cryptic text, the secret letter pointed to the ancient Mirror Valley of Zishan, where the legendary Dragon Bone Stele was located, which contained the first of the 4 secret strategies in the early Qing dynasty, reverse dragon sealing technique. Kangxi ordered Zhou Qingdong to investigate, but he was not allowed to use the regular army, and could only rely on the manpower of the advisor's office. In the Valley of Mirrors, there are many mechanisms and illusions. They mistakenly entered the mirror flower formation and saw the phantom they feared the most in their hearts. Zhou Qingdong saw the cynicism of failure and modern self. Everyone was almost lost. Yu Xian broke the illusion with the sound of the piano, and Zhou Qingdong realized the meaning of true self in the formation. He was no longer just a modern person who got through the customs. He was already the real pillar of the Kangxi dynasty. The Dragon Bone Monument is now in the world, and the mystery of the hidden dragon is solved, but it also awakens an ancient power that has been sealed. Chapter 12 The Blood Curse Reappears, the Ghost Record of Yudu. It turns out that what is sealed in the Hidden Dragon strategy is not only a political strategy, but also a history that has been officially erased. Under the stele, there is a blood book of Yudu, which records that in the Battle of Jingnan, the mysterious rebel king did not die, but was sealed underground with a warlock army. In order to prevent waking up again, the royal family issued a blood curse, and every 100 years it was necessary to suppress it with the royal blood sacrifice monument. Kangxi was shocked, but in order to ensure the stability of the world, he chose to hide the truth and only entrusted the consultant's office to seal the documents. But Zhou Qingdong found that the blood curse was weak, and the ancient sorcerer's remnant soul was awakening. He began to think, if fate reincarnates again, should I choose to deceive or the truth? Chapter 13 The Consultant Defies Heaven and Reverses the Emperor's Order. The sealing crisis became more and more intense, and there were visions throughout the northwest region, and rumors of the northern expedition of ghost soldiers spread among the people. The conservatives in the DPRK and China attacked again, demanding the abolition of the advisory office, and even expelled Zhou Qingdong from the court, accusing him of setting up a private corps and misleading the public. When Kangxi hesitated, the advisor's office held a public Vientiane ceremony, displaying improvised firearms, military simulations, and medical techniques, which shocked the people and became like a rainbow. Public opinion turned to the advisory office, and Kangxi finally fought back against the conservatives, appointing Zhou Qingdong as the national policy officer, the highest military and political advisor to the court, and even allowing him to act freely without being controlled by the prime minister. From illiteracy to unifying the world, Zhou Qingdong stood at the pinnacle of his destiny. Chapter 14 The Last Mystery, Dumb Wind, and Sand City. The final point of the Hidden Dragon strategy is the Wind Sand City, the legendary capital of the dead, where the real core of ancient magic is located. Zhou Qingdong led the consultant's office in, but found that the whole city was shrouded in ghosts, with bones on the ground, and time and space were intertwined, like a dream. On the stone altar in the center of the city, he saw himself before the time travel and said to him, "You fooled everyone, but this time, will you fool your fate?" He finally understood that flickering could not save everything. This is a test, let go of yourself, let go of reality and fantasy, let go of the fear of losing. Zhou Qingdong finally chose to turn himself into a part of the seal and stabilize the entire barrier. In this war, there was no winner, and no one remembered his sacrifice, only Yu Xian, who wrote his name in the portrait 1,000 years later. Chapter 15 Perfect Ending, Mortals Become Legends in the End. 10 years later, the world was peaceful, and the advisory office was still in operation, becoming the most important think tank of the empire. The imperial court established a new Qingdong City Hall to enshrine a portrait of an unsung hero. Yu Xian left the palace indifferently, returned to Zishan, and often said to herself to the top of the mountain, "You said that you are not an official, but you have guarded this thousands of miles of rivers and mountains." And Zhou Qingdong, the policymaker in history, will forever remain in the myth of the empire and the legend of the tea house of the people. Some say he is a liar, others say he is a wise man. But more people believe that he was the advisor who really pulled the world back to the light from chaos during the Kangxi period. Chapter 16 The Ghost returns to the court, in front of the Night Palace. A few months after the Battle of Winsan City, visions began to appear in the capital. There were always female voices whispering in the palace late at night, ownerless lanterns fluttering, and the imperial guards disappearing repeatedly. The secret agent reported that the wind and sand curse have not been broken, and Kangxi was furious and ordered the advisory office to investigate immediately. Yu Xian re-emerged from the mountain and led a team of new consultants, including the mechanism master Yu Suanji, the trapping master Ding Wuchen, and the mind doctor Jin Sheng. After quietly observing, Yu Xian judged, those phenomena are not ghosts, but some kind of magic that uses spiritual magic and yin energy simulation. Someone is reviving the demonic plot in the name of Fengsha City. Eventually, the investigation zeroed in on one man, the Minister of Justice, Helian Ying. He had been a secret monitor of Fengsha City, but out of fear, he turned it into a lust for power, intending to bring about the return of ancient arts and proclaim himself the Supreme Prime Minister. Chapter 17 The Secret Path Fight, The Battle of Soul Seals. Yuexuan and the consultant team infiltrated the Helian mansion and discovered that he had set up a private secret altar to build a soul seal array with royal ancient blood and hellfire jade, planning to use Kangxi's bloodline as a guide to recall all the ancient magic spirit generals. Once this move is successful, not only will the seal of the apocalypse be shattered, but the entire imperial capital will turn into a secluded realm. Yu Suanji broke the trap maze with 1,000 crossbows, Ding Wuchen fought the warlock with ghost shadow steps, and Yu Xian personally fought against Helian Ying. Helian used the Forbidden Soul technique to summon the phantom of Zhou Qingdong, who had died in the wind and sand. Yu Xian's mind was shaken and she fell into an illusion for a while, but she understood that it was not him. Using her own blood and sweat as a guide, she reversed the formation, sealing Helian Ying within the barrier. The ancient magic was rendered ineffective, and peace returned to the imperial city. The advisor's office, once again, invisibly protected the empire. Chapter 18 Consultant's Resurgence, Unrivaled Name. Kangxi personally praised the people of the advisory office and ordered the erection of the Kangxi monument, which engraved the names of all the consultants. Zhou Qingdong's name is listed first, with the inscription reading, "Wisdom that enlightens the world, wisdom that defies heaven, neither emperor nor minister, respected by all." Yuexuan refused to be an official, returned to the Green Mountains, set up a strategy hall to give lectures, and taught future generations. Ding Wuchen became the first commander-in-chief of the Imperial Strategy Office and traveled far and wide, suppressing rebellions and the lingering dangers of sorcery in various places. Yu Suanji and Jin Sheng hid among the people, using their magic and medical skills to help the people, and their stories became famous. The advisor's mansion is no longer a one-person mansion, but has become the most revered temple of the wise in the empire. Chapter 19 Goodbye Kangxi, Drink to the Common People. 5 years later, on an autumn night, Kangxi secretly summoned Yuexuan to the palace. The palace lights swayed, the room was silent, and Kangxi asked, You say, am I doing the right thing? Let such a foolish and unruly Zhou Qingdong participate in the context of the entire empire. Yu Xian only smiled lightly. If it weren't for him, the world might not be what it is now. Kangxi sighed, I dreamed of him several times. He sat on the roof of the restaurant, shouting to open a tavern and get rid of being an official. But in the end, he still blocked all the wind and rain for me. The two raised their glasses to drink, and the wind passed silently. This emperor, in the name of a person rather than a king, finally remembered the advisor who was the least official, but the most human. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 20, When the Wind Blows, Who Will I Care About? Many years later, the world is in turmoil again, and the Yuda school gathers people again, and a person who claims to be a descendant of the consultant enters the battle. His name was Zhou Mu, he was about 20 years old, and he was weak as a cat, but he used his mouth to thwart the enemy's plot and turn danger into opportunity. He didn't recognize Zhou Qingdong, but he always dreamed of someone teaching him, remember, whether you understand it or not, you have to bluff them first. In troubled times, he once again raised the name of an advisor and told the world. In this world, if there is anyone else who can take care of the common people in the world, it is not a god or an emperor, but the one who is not afraid of absurdity and dares to take fate jokes for granted. Underscore 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 un. Postscript, the way of consulting, the light of troubled times. There has never been any record of the advisory office in history, let alone a person named Zhou Qingdong. But the strange thing is that in remote villages, in broken books, among the people, there is always such a story. A who can't read big words, a hero who doesn't look like an official, a guy who uses luck and mouth as a weapon. He has never been to the battlefield, but he has saved the entire empire. This may not be history, but this is a real legend. When everyone feels that they are not good, I hope you will remember. You can also be that advisor.